Hey guys, welcome back to Castle Story. As you can see, I made a lot of changes in here. I think it looks really cool right now. If you look on the mini map, you can see what we're exactly working with here. Yeah, we have this really cool bigger island in the middle, a few of the smaller ones all around. Someone's in the back, so we have this nice background scenery, and it just doesn't look like this was too random. We have this nice floating island system here, which I really like. I always like the concept of floating islands. I don't know why. As you can see, also I made two towers. This is something that we are gonna use maybe. I will show you how they look though. And I made them completely functional, but since the map got a little bit bigger, I thought it would be nice to have these towers over here, because we're gonna do Conquest. And today we're gonna work on adding the resources. But we're gonna do Conquest, and I made this decision because I was playing around with the game modes, and I found out that we can't have shards. So these shards over here that we've been placing down in Invasion. So that's kind of a bummer. I'm kind of bummed out about that. I wanted to have a combination of the two, but I just can't make that happen because the game isn't programmed like that. So what we're gonna do is play Conquest. We're gonna capture all of these crystals around. We do have some player spawns all around, so we have one over here. Let's see, we have one here, the original one over there, I think one over here as well. So we have, I think, four. Let's see, yeah, we have 4 enemy spawns, and we start in the castle, of course. So we need to conquer those and capture all these shards around to win the game, which is gonna be really cool. So that's something we're gonna do. But that's why I made these towers, so if we venture out in the world a little bit, it won't, they won't have to get back all the way to the castle to get some resources and have some stockpiles. So if we can, we'll place some stockpiles in those towers when we get a little bit further into the game, and we can just gather some stuff from there as well, so they won't have to walk all the way back to the castle every time. I think that's gonna work pretty well. Let's hope so. Yeah, I was kind of bummed out though, because I really wanted to do Invasion, where we have just these wave of attacks to the castle. But now we're just gonna venture out ourselves and attack them. Could be that we have to flee and they will come to the castle anyway, so this won't be completely useless. It won't be completely useless at all, because we need to have all the resources around, and another goal of this let's play is gonna be to build up the whole castle keep, of course. So yeah, we're just gonna play with the resources today. I'm gonna add some different types of stuff in here. Let's see, I think I want thick grass. Maybe that will look good on all the mountain tops as well. I think, yeah, I think that looks a little bit better. Have something like that. And then once we work down, we get to the lighter parts. I think that should be good. And let's see, we also have the darker one, right? Clover. Alright. It's a pretty heavy texture. Looks really dense. So I don't know how much of that I'm gonna use. I think I want to push it back a little bit. Maybe if we put plants on top of that. I think that will look good. But I don't want plants in here, I want trees. And the trees is gonna remove the texture anyway. Well, since this is gonna be where the quarry is, I think it would be good to have some iron around and some brimstone over here. Ooh, make it nice and big. That's already a pretty big thing we have here. Some brimstone. Maybe we should do a little bit more subtle. I don't really like that this brush is just a square. I wish they would round it off a little bit. You see, it's pretty clear square we have. Something like that maybe. I still think this is maybe a little bit too much. Just have two smaller ones. We do have to watch out now that this area is not gonna start to look too cluttered, you know? Because if you just place down a lot of stuff around, it's gonna look cluttered really fast. Do we want to get up here? No, not really. I'm just gonna place down a lot of trees. I'm kind of thinking about what kind of look I want to go for this. Do we want a really dense jungle type thing with a lot of plants around, or do we want to keep it a little bit more subtle? Not exactly sure yet. I do really like the darker grass. Since we have this color as a default, I think it would be good to mainly have that on the paths. And change it up a little bit on the areas where something's happening, like over here, and these kind of areas are going to be probably darker. So we have this nice contrast. My cat is running around the house. Hey, why so wild? Ah! She always likes to jump right in front of my face. I don't know what that is all about. Probably wants attention. Alright. Something like that. Then also this is where we're going to place down the quarry. So maybe for now we should just have a bunch of boulders around. So we can have a start with some stone. We're gonna need a lot of stone. That's gonna be pretty crazy how much stone we're gonna need. But these boulders are mainly gonna be for the start of it, I think. So we can build the necessary stuff and then just place a quarry down and have them working in there. It's something that should be done a little bit later because it does take up some workers and you really need your workers in the beginning. But we'll have some around. So I'm just gonna focus on this little mountain top for now. And then I'm just gonna skip ahead again and do some other stuff. Oh, these ones you can place on the dirt type of thing. When there's grass around or with trees, you can only place it on the grass. Have a rock in there. Alright, so that's probably what I'm gonna do with that. Now we do have a lot of different plant types. First of all, I want to add some more of this darker grass. Do really think that looks good. It makes a ton of difference. Don't really understand why when you place trees down it just changes into dirt. It would have been so much better just to have grass underneath it. So maybe do the edges like this a little bit. Oh, okay. So if you hold control, it just doesn't revert back to the previous grass, but it turns into dirt. It's pretty good to know if we want some dirt around. Okay, so what if I now choose the clover? Make that a little bit darker and have some, which ones do I want to use? Probably the standard ones mostly. Have some changes around. Yeah, I think that does look good. Let's make this one a little bit smaller. Maybe something like that. How does that look? I don't think I'm gonna use all of these plant types because it's just gonna look messy. It's good to have different choices, but we don't want a big mess of different types of plants in here. Do like these two together. So I'm probably mostly gonna focus on that. Let's see, what are the other ones? So we have that one. It's a really bluish kind of green. We could use this one for a little bit more change. This just basically looks the same as the other one. Yeah, it's almost the same. So we could use those. And this is also the bluish type of green, so I think I'm gonna leave those out. If I would choose to use those, I would probably do that for a specific reason. Some more boulders around. Something like that. So we're just gonna create these little pieces of scenery around and try not to overdo it. Yeah, that doesn't work. And it does remove the type of grass. Alright, that's also something we should think about. Oh, again, have to switch over to the grass. Alright. Alright, I think I'm just gonna add some more to everywhere, at least to this main mountain for this episode. And I will be back a little bit later. And next episode we're gonna focus on the smaller islands and decorating around the towers and stuff like that. I do have some fun ideas of what else we could do in here. We have to hop back into World Edit or in Sandbox. So maybe I'll do that just off screen and show you what I got for next time. But we'll see. I'm just gonna add some more stuff around. Right now I still need to do the next layer of grass with some plants around. So I did place all the trees, the boulders and the resources, the stone and the brimstone, or the iron and the brimstone, I mean. I do need to put down another layer and mess around with the plants a little bit. Maybe we can do something fun. I was thinking maybe have a sort of a Stonehenge kind of idea where we have this circle of rocks. I don't know why, it's a very random thing. Have something. Let's see. Another one over here. No, you don't fit in there. Yeah, I don't know why. That was just a random thing. But it could be cool to have a sort of a nature monument thing in here. Maybe something like that, and then just fill this up with trees, and we can still walk through this area. This is kind of a dense forest ideas, sort of something like that. Kind of looks funny. I don't know, I just come up with random ideas and then just place them down. Leave this open a little bit more. Oh, something like that. And the grass really changes stuff. I really did decide to make, because you have 3 types of grass, it's a good thing to keep the middle one, the middle color, do that as the main color a little bit. Like you see over here, I use this color quite a bit. Then you have a highlight and you have one that makes a darker color. So when we add in the darkest one, I think it's gonna start to look really dynamic. For now, I'm just gonna keep adding this one over here. This is gonna be just, I like to do this really randomly. Like this. And like this. Maybe have this middle part light. So the normal grass is gonna a little bit like this. Okay, I think that looks kind of funny. Why not? I don't think we need to do a lot more over here, because we do need to still think about the fact that we still are gonna add. I just want to see how that looks. When we add this another layer of color in here. Yeah, this is starting to look really cool. I like that. Look at that. Something like this. Just have that around the edges. And since this is a really type of a forest area, I'm gonna keep this really dark. Just don't have to look too closely to see the clover pattern, because it wouldn't make sense to have this much of the clovers around, right? Yeah, I think I just want to add some touches here and there of this one everywhere, but have some denser forest areas where everything is just a little bit darker. I think that's gonna look really cool. We could lose some trees over here, I feel like. Just so this area is a little bit clearer. Have this dark one around here. Actually, you should work from bottom to top, right? So you start with this one, then add this one and this one, so you don't overlap it. Thick grass. See, because now we're overlapping it, so kind of need to work from bottom to top. And I'm kind of used to that anyway, because I used to paint. I don't paint anymore, but I used to paint and it works the same way. So we're just gonna do something like this, I think. And we have some more plants in here, so this really starts to look like a dense forest area, this bit. And keep it a little bit calmer over here. I also did some stuff in the back, so it just looks like we can't really go here, but so that it at least looks like this is just the type of area with the plants and the trees and everything. So this is starting to look really cool. I guess next time we're gonna do this part over here. I'm just gonna work some more on the plants before I wrap up this episode. So let's just get those in. And I just really have to see how much of this I want to do. I want to keep this area clear because of the quarry. I just want to see how this is starting to look. So we'll have some everywhere. And I will add this one as well. Oh, didn't select it. So I'm just gonna put that around. And don't want too many of these ones, just as a change up. I just want to see how this will look in the bigger picture, if it will look too busy or if it just adds this cool detail to it. I'll always remove some later. Yeah, I think that will look cool though. Let's work a little bit on that in here, because this is really a foresty area. So we're just gonna put all the empty spots, fill that up with plants, have them really big. Just gonna bump up the intensity for this. Oh, look at that. Yeah, that looks good. Just have the bigger ones in here. And we can always add some smaller ones. Later on. Just have these bigger ones at the edge. Yeah, that's starting to look really cool. I like it so far. It's a lot of fun to do. Making your own map is actually really, really fun. So I will just keep continuing on with this. I will finish this whole area we've been working on right now. And next time we're going to move on to this over here. And see how we go from that point. I think we're going to start the Let's Play soon, guys. Probably next week. I'm really looking forward to that. So now let's push it down a little bit again. I'm totally forgetting to put these ones in as well. Just something like that, I guess. Alright. It is a really nice lighter color and it matches so great with this grass type, so you really get this dynamic look to it, which I really like. And we also had this one, right? Which looks a little bit the same, it's just a bit different. A little bit different. I don't really think you can tell that well from afar, so. Although when we start to play, we're up close a lot more. Maybe there's something else we can do with this. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe we should put something in the middle over here. I don't know. Yeah, this area should be pretty dense. You can walk through the plants. Obviously you can't walk through the trees, so I really have to take that in account. We won't do it this busy looking everywhere, of course, but for this little bit over here, I think it looks pretty cool. And this little island over here can be pretty dense, like it's a little bit attached to the forest over there. Let's see, how far are we in? I think I always have to stop the episode. Like seriously, this stuff goes fast. I hardly even notice time going by when I'm talking to you guys like this. Alright. I kind of feel like I want to make this area a little bit bigger. I could just do that. It's not like it's a lot of work. Let's do that before I wrap up the episode. Let's lower down the grid. Maybe to about there. This bit can just be a little bit bigger, so it really feels more like a forest area. Get a little bit smaller so we can attach this. How does that look? Alright. Do something like that. Because right now it doesn't look foresty enough to me. Feel like we can do a bit more. Oh, just screw this up a little bit. Make it higher. Really do have to watch out what you do when you play with World Editor. It's very easy to wreck the stuff you already made. So, like this. I think that will look a little bit better. Oh, there we go again. That's what I mean with the grid system. It works great. Of course it works great. But I would just like to edit the land that I've been working on already. So I can just click on the height I want it to be like and add to that. That would be better for me. Yeah, let's do that. We need to generate the underside on the grid on the height of 135. That's what I've been doing, so it will stay the same. Then generate the underside for, oh no, boy. I forgot to adjust the thickness and the randomness. I don't know what it's gonna do now. Yeah, this is not good. Not what I want. Alright, I think about this should be good, hopefully. I will have to check the area around again, because everything you adjust after you generate the underside, it will just get back to it. Alright, like over here. No, it's still good. Alright, I think we're good. So, to wrap this up, just gonna add a bunch more trees in here. Now it's starting to look like a forest. Yeah, that looks better. That looks better. For the idea of having this denser area. Yeah, that's good. So, last thing. We'll have the thick grass. Up the brush a little bit. Just want this to be dark and have some of the clover around. Something like that. I think we can work with this. So lots more I will do for today, but for next episode we're just gonna finish this area and then we're gonna start our Let's Play, guys. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you on the next one.